Examining the selected bones of the skeleton, we will begin with the bones belonging to the axial division, highlighted here in gray. The axial division consists of the skull, vertebral column, ribs, and sternum. The skull has two major divisions: the cranial portion, which covers, protects, and supports the brain, in addition to the facial portion, which supports the sensory structures and muscles of the face and the mouth. The vertebral column supports the skull and transmits the weight of the thoracic and abdominal regions to the hip bones. The ribs form part of the thoracic cage that supports and protects the lungs and the heart, with the sternum forming the anterior part of the thoracic cage. The appendicular division of the skeleton consists of the bones of the pectoral girdle, the upper limbs, the pelvic girdle, and the lower limbs, all of which are shown here in teal. The pectoral girdle consists of the clavicle and the scapula, and the pectoral girdle functions to connect the upper limbs to the axial skeleton. The upper limb bones are the humerus, which is the bone of the arm, the radius and the ulna, which are the bones of the forearm. The bones belonging to the hand are the wrist bones, which are collectively referred to as the carpals, the metacarpals, which are the bones of the palm, and the phalanges, which are the bones of the fingers. The pelvic or hip bones are the bones of the pelvic girdle, which function to transmit the weight supported by the vertebral column to the lower limbs, in addition to attaching the lower limbs to the axial skeleton. The bones of the lower limbs consist of the femur, which is the bone of the thigh, the patella, which is the bone of the kneecap, and the tibia and fibula, which are the bones of the leg. In addition to the bones of the foot, which we will examine now, within the foot, the tarsals are the bones of the ankles, metatarsals are the bones that connect the tarsals to the bones of the toes, and the bones belonging to the toes are collectively called the phalanges, just the same as they are for the bones of the fingers.